Going on, fam? We hard on the yard. We about 4 days into the heat cycle of one of our females, Big Shirley. That's that boy Domino. That's a good pocket bullet right there. I don't do enough justice with the pictures, man. I'm not as good as I should be on the cameras, but every time I get a good shot, I want y'all to see so that I can try to bring home how good it is. That boy's nice. But anyway, get down, legend. Get down. She's about 4 days into her heat cycle. Maybe 5. And we haven't got the chance. Get down. It's been raining, so we ain't been on the yard as much as we should. But I need to let her and Debo get together. And when the female first goes into heat, she's not ready to breed right then. And the way that you're supposed to do it as a breeder is you're supposed to go to the vet and get progesterone tests done to let you know when it's the right time to breed. And when that progesterone level is right, then you can artificially inseminate or whatever you need to do. There's no need for you to go spend $5,000 on a stud fee if you don't have any way, if you come and breed her at the wrong time. The machine is going to insert it anyway, but if it's not at the right fertile time, it's not going to take. So in order to make it most accurate, they go to the pens. I mean, they go to the test for progesterone, and that progesterone test is going to show that yes, she's ready and she's in heat. Now what I'm doing is I'm just bringing him close to her until she's there, because when she first starts, she won't be there. It'll be about 10 days into that heat cycle before we can actually breed, and she won't let him get close to her. I hate that it's just rained out here and I got this mud in this pen, so I would let her out of here. That's what I'm gonna probably do here. But I want to see the interest in her and in him. You see her backside is swelled up too, so I know that it's time for her to be in heat. And I know we got everything going right, but she didn't want to deal with the boys yesterday. But today, she's a little bit more into playing around with Debo. I'm curious to just let him loose and see what happens. That's where I'm at. But even if I don't, I could just bring Debo to this kennel next to her and keep him next to her, and they would play until she is ready to breed. And the way that I know that she's ready to breed naturally without doing that progesterone test, because the progesterone test might cost you about $65. They got to pull blood and everything. And it just depends. Some places can do it in an hour, or some places they have to send it out to a lab and it takes 2 or 3 days. I cannot deal with the people that takes 2 or 3 days. I need to know within 24 hours. I need to know within the hour where our progesterone levels are in order for me to do the breeding or to time the C-section or any of that. It's the same for C-section too. So in other words, before you breed and after you breed, you need to know the progesterone. Y'all hit that like button if this been good information to you. Let's make sure a lot more people get it, man. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and sure will help us out. And I'm gonna let her out because I think that she's in tune with him. And we're gonna see if they just can play around. And I wanna keep her, I'm gonna keep them over here away from my other females and my other males. Try to keep them on this side of the yard. Keep away from everyone else. Come on, girl. Come on. Shirley. Big Shirley is one of the dogs that I co-own. Her owner, Big Bird, came over a little while ago and gave her some feed. Take her out. He babies this dog. He kept this dog on his chest. When she was a little pup, this pup would sleep on his chest. So that shows you how much he loves his dog. And she is stout. I want you now. Most of y'all have seen my boy Debo. This is Debo that's next to her. This is one of my stoutest bullies. This is Debo that's standing next to her, and she making him look kind of small. He just looked like a pocket compared to her. So that shows you how stout she is. But she's got a little bit more interest with Debo. So we're getting close to what I call a standing heat. And that's the way you know how to breed if you don't do the progesterone test. Standing heat means that she's going to stand in position for him to mount her. And she will not do that unless she is at the fertile stage to be bred. She will not go into standing heat. I mean, she'll play around with him and do the flirting and all this here, but she's not going to stand still for him to mount until she's ready at that fertilization stage. And it took off and ran off. But when she's ready at that fertilization stage, she's going to stand still where he can mount. And that's a standing heat. So without us doing any artificial insemination, we do all of ours natural. By us doing everything natural, we go by the standing heat instead of the progesterone. Now, say I went to get a progesterone test today. Day's Thursday. I know she's in heat. I go get the progesterone test and she's not ready. That's $65. Then I go do another test. She's not ready. $65. So by third day, it's $180. The C-section, when the puppies come, is $1,000. So I already made that $1,200 now. I can't even do, if I do a puppy count for $85 with an X-ray, now I'm up to $1,285 to have the puppies. So that's an unnecessary cost if you have the stud here where he can mount. The only way you need that other way is if you don't have the stud here. Then you need to know the progesterone levels so that you'll be correct when you do the breeding. And I told Bird to just bring Shirley over here. We have not been able to catch her heat cycle yet. And we got close this time. We know we're in the window. So I said, just bring her over here now. And we're gonna keep on her. Bringing studs to her until she is ready. And when she is ready, got somebody came up and want to stop. And when she goes to standing heat, we know she's ready. And we know we gotta we're gonna keep her together in about 4 or 5 days after that, so that they can keep fertilizing the eggs. And that way we'll have a real good breeding. And we learned a lot over the 3 years we've been going. And that was one of the things I learned, is that they gotta stay together at least 4 or 5 days, just like we did back in the old days. So because they gotta fertilize those eggs. So if you ain't a member yet, man, you need to think about joining, subscribing, hit that like button. Keep in touch with everything we got going on. We got a litter on the way in just about 6 days. If you want to be on the waiting list, you need to become a Hardcut Pick member. So hit that list number, hit that join button, become a member. And I got another litter right after that in 2 weeks. Debo is the stud for both of these litters and for this next litter coming. So when y'all get through messing around and playing around, man, you need to just come on out the bench for the big win. Get you something hard cut.